preview images, which are not the same thing as the preview file. And I'm going to tell you, my preview images have been really bad my whole career. It's something I haven't put any time or effort into. And that's a missed opportunity because your preview images, they're going to be like it's like sales copy, but in image format. And so we know that all of the customers who look at our products are going to look at the preview images, and it's going to play a significant role in whether or not they choose to make the purchase. But ask yourself this question: when a customer looks at your TpT product, what questions are they going to want to have answered?
What would it look like? What are they
Great.
getting?
Yep.
How do you use it?
Yep.
What problem, what solution for their problem? They're looking for a solution.
How does it solve a problem for them or their students? Great one.
What format is it in and how large is it? Like how do I prep this? Like what's the prep involved?
Yep.
You know, in terms of getting it from off of TpT into the hands of students.
A lot of times for me, in the past when I've like gone searching on TpT for like emergency situations, it's like a lot of times it's like I have some idea of what I want. So it's more a question of, is this what I want? Hoping from the preview pictures to see whether or not this actually is what I want.
Yeah, that's a great point, because we saw in Mervat's image, it said at the bottom grades 3 to 6, I think, which is a good strategy. That's something that I probably should start including.
Yes, I put it so if that's not, they can just leave. I want to grab the attention of the 3rd to 6th grade teachers.
So who it's for and who it's not for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add to this list that we've been saying of what questions the teachers have for customers, what's included. So if it's a workbook or if there's a lot of worksheets, things like that, how it works. And then everyone's kind of said it, but not specifically said it, but what it looks like. So my first tip is to answer these questions in your preview images. And remember, you only get 3 images, so you might not be able to answer all of them. But a good sales copy strategy is to overcome objections. We talked about this last week, I believe. And so how can you overcome objections in these images? Kind of like what Andrew was getting at. If you can answer these questions in your images, and in your images, you know, a lot of you guys are showing us we have words in them, but if you can answer those questions in the images, you're going to increase your conversion percentage, because they're going to make it more likely for them to buy, because they know exactly what they're getting and they're excited about the result that they're getting, which is what Mervat was talking about. I want to show you this picture. Talking about preview images, on your screen you see a Dr. Pepper 15 pack, and in the bottom it says something that sounds really redundant. It says 3 extra cans, because, you know, normally they sell a 12 pack, but this is a 15 pack. And they say 3 extra cans, not because they don't think you can do 15 minus 12. It's because they want to make the benefit very obvious. So they come out and tell you the benefit, even though it should seem obvious. So my second tip here is, don't expect the customer to know what the value of the product is just by seeing the image. Tell it to them. So I told you I'm very bad. My products have very bad preview images because I just post images of the product with the word preview running through it. Well, I'm leaving it all up to the customer to figure out if this is a good resource or not, how it's going to help them, what's so great about it, what's unique about it, what are the benefits. I don't tell them. I just say, here, look at it. You figure out what's great about it. So that's a bad strategy. A great strategy is show and tell. So show them the image or a portion of the resource, and then explain what about it is so great. Like Mervat was saying, how's this going to make their life better or solve their problems? Go ahead, Mervat.
I wanted to say something. For example, the night you shared with us that leap day, the 29th, I used it for one of my freebies. The fact that I put the freebie word on that cover image, I texted him, I texted Chris, and I told him it got downloaded 3,000 times in less than 24 hours. Just because I labeled not the free that says free on the side, I labeled on the cover freebie.
Yeah, great point. So again, Make the benefit very clear. Don't expect them just to get it and put it in the image, not just the product title. Good point, Marvat. Dimensions. Hopefully you can see just by looking at other people's, but your dimensions are square, just like the cover image. And so really whatever you're using for your cover image, you should use for your preview images, the same dimensions, square. Make it different than the preview file. So I have a bad habit of making a preview file that looks good and then just putting the images into the preview images from the file. Okay, so this is bad for two reasons. I know you guys are wondering how I sell anything. It's bad for one because the dimensions are different. So I'm not fully optimizing the square. There's blank space on the top and bottom, which just doesn't look as good as it could. And then number two is, why do they want to see the preview file if it's the same thing as the images? Like, it's nothing new. So I'm being redundant, I'm wasting time, and like, well, I'm sure that if someone clicked on that and saw the same thing, like, well, why did I click on that? I don't need to do that. That was stupid and a waste of time. So I don't want to upset my customers. So use a preview image, use preview images, use preview files, but make them look different and say different things. Couple more tips. Use words in your images. I kind of already said that, but we saw how in a lot of everybody's images, there were a picture of the product or a portion of the product and then words on the side explaining it. And that's exactly what you should be doing for reasons we already mentioned. Make your words a nice, clean, easy to read font and very large. Because remember, if they're looking at it on their mobile or whatever, they're not going to be able to see too many words. So don't put too many words in it. Again, I have a habit of doing that. Try less is more. Try and get quick and to the point. Remember, we have the copywriting course, so there's a lot of strategies in there to help you get to the point quickly if you ever want to go back and redigest that information. Okay, highlight the main features. We kind of said that, but make sure you're telling them what makes this one product better than anything else that's out there. So why it's unique or what problem it solves, its benefits, but highlight the main features. And that might want to be the first image. If it's not the what's included image, you might do the main features. Make it pretty. And I think that's all my tips.
I've heard that having a real picture of your product is also a better
great point.
selling point.
Yep. So a lot of people print it and they put it on their table and get it real pretty, and then they take pictures of it and then they upload that picture, which is a good strategy. It's a good point. Don't have student names or anything that could identify the student, and don't have school names or school logos. You guys all have these templates, but the one we're going to look at right now is this one here in the middle, the preview image template. And so there are 15 different preview images for you to use as your template. And this is to speed things up for you. And you see, I kind of try and give you prompts so that you know what to put. So what it is, how to use it, key features, what's included, benefits, all of that. Now, when you're using these, don't feel locked into anything on the screen. So if you like this, but it's not going to be your key benefit, it's going to be what's included, that's okay. You know, just use it, change it. Don't feel if you're using this one, but your image has 5 pages instead of 3, that's okay. Just click them and you know, add 2 more. Also, I don't necessarily drag and drop them over. When I drag and drop a worksheet into that box, sometimes it cuts it off and it doesn't work so well. But that's what it's supposed to be. You're just supposed to grab it and drop it right in there. But you see, it doesn't always do the right job. So what I like to do is click it, delete it. I'm scared to do it on this because it's the template, but click it, delete it, and then just add the new one in there. And then of course up here, I don't know if you guys have seen this, is kind of new on Canva. You can add your borders and change the weight. There are 15 images, but obviously you're only using 3 for your preview images. Don't use this for the preview file. You have a different template for files, which I don't see in here.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
But what do you mean when you say preview file versus something else? I don't know what you're talking about.
When you have a product, you see down here, there are 3 images that you can hover over. Those are your preview images. And over here is a preview file. If you click on that, a different thing appears as the preview file. And this is also downloadable. I hope this helped you make better preview images.